Hi guys, it's Julie from cookedbyjulie.com. Today we'll be making taco stuffed bell peppers, and you are going to love these because they are super flavorful and delicious. So let's get started. All right, the first thing you want to do is slice off the bottoms of the bell peppers, like a very thin layer. And the reason you want to do that is so that the peppers are able to stand up straight. We're then going to slice off the tops and remove the seeds and the membrane. If you discard the seeds and the membranes, you want to rinse the peppers, then pat them dry with paper towel and season them with salt and pepper. I like to add about an inch to 2 inches of water. We are then going to bake them in a preheated oven for 20 minutes. While the bell peppers roast in the oven, we are going to get started on the beef. I like to start by sauteing the onions and mushrooms in olive oil. I like to cook them until the onions are nice and translucent, about 2 to 3 minutes. Also, the mushrooms are completely optional. I threw them in only because I had them on hand. Give everything a good stir. I like to season with salt and pepper, not just yet, but in a little bit. After 2 minutes, I add in the garlic, fresh garlic, and red crushed pepper flakes. That's optional, the red crushed peppers, but I like it a little spicy. Now it's when I season with salt and pepper, give it a quick stir, and I then remove the onion mixture and I cook the beef in the same skillet. Add some more oil if needed, but the reason I like to saute the onions and garlic is so that they caramelize nicely. If you throw them in and they cook with the beef, they kind of just steam instead, and I'm not a fan of that. It's easier for sure, but I prefer to see the onions nice and caramelized, if that makes any sense. All right, so now what you want to do is just break up the meat really well. I usually crumble it with my fingers, but the pan was super hot, so I just threw it in. You want to brown the beef completely. And now this is one of those weeknight recipes where I just experiment with a bunch of different ingredients. This is not a classic stuffed bell pepper recipe. I definitely encourage you to experiment with different ingredients. You'll definitely surprise yourself. All right, so I added the delicious caramelized onion and garlic mixture back into the pan. You can certainly season with taco seasoning, but I prefer to use individual spices. I hit it with a little oregano, paprika, chili powder, cumin, salt, and pepper, of course. I also added some canned green chilies, and of course you can add some chopped bell peppers from the tops and bottoms we sliced off, but I'm not a fan of doing that because then it's a little too much bell pepper. Here I have some chipotle. This came in a can, but I like to place it in the fridge because I never use the entire can. So it's just the sauce that I like to add, about a tablespoon or two. That's completely optional. I added some salsa. This was jarred salsa that I purchased at the store, but if you cannot find any jarred salsa at your local grocery store, I have a recipe for a delicious homemade salsa over on my website, cookedbyjulie.com. Give everything a good stir. We are going to cover this slightly. Oh, before we cover and cook this, I did add some canned rinsed beans. You can also add some corn if you'd like. After you give everything a good stir, you want to cover it slightly, reduce the heat to low, and cook it for about 25 to 30 minutes or until the beef is fork tender. Make sure to season well with salt and pepper, and then you want to add some rice. Now, you can substitute the white fluffy rice for some brown rice, or you can completely omit the rice, and this would be like a low carb meal, but then you would have to omit the beans as well. And just add some more veggies if that's what you'd like to do. If you want this to be a low carb meal, you can certainly leave out the beans and the rice and add some more veggies. But I highly recommend giving this recipe a try just as is because it was so delicious. And I didn't add much rice, but of course you can add as much as you'd like. Go ahead and stuff the peppers with the beef and rice mixture, and then we are going to top them off with some salsa and cheddar cheese. If you like them very saucy, add more salsa. I didn't add a lot. I added some cheddar cheese on top, and I then baked them uncovered for about 15 minutes. I garnished them with cilantro and I squeezed some fresh lime, which I highly recommend. These were incredible. I promise you, definitely give these a try. Let me know if you guys give these a try. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I want to thank you guys so much for watching.